Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a short example of how to create a multi-file system and how to handle it inside of Neovim. So we are just going to create a small Python project to show it. Okay, we will have to create a new folder for it. So I'll open terminal inside of it. For now I'll use the floating one. So let's just go to downloads, okay, dcapital, and we'll create a directory here called temp. So inside of temp we are going to create main.py and we are going to create a fact.py. So fact.py is going to be like our package and main.py is the file we are going to be running. So once we have these, we are going to exit the terminal since we have the basic program. So we are going to go inside of downloads, temp, and fact.py. So we have our fact.py right here. We are going to define a function called factorial, which takes an argument n and is defined as, first we are going to try to take a factorial, and let's just say, okay, we will take our fact and we'll initialize it to 1, and then we are going to run a for loop. So for I in our iterable is going to be range from 1 to n plus 1, since n is our input parameter, and we are going to pass, okay, we are going to run a for loop. So fact star is equal to I. So at the end of the execution, fact is going to store the factorial of the function n, and in the end we are going to print the capital, the factorial of n is fact. So this is what our function will do. It will just print the factorial of n is whatever the value of fact is at the end of the iteration. Now once we have this, we are going to save it and we are going to create a new file inside of new buffer. Inside of this we are going to edit main.py. So downloads, temp, and inside of it main.py. So this is our main.py file, and here we are just going to call the invoke print. So no property, just print. Okay, we don't even need to use print, right? We'll just import fact and then fact.factorial we'll have to input int input, and this should work. Now as for we'll just first save this file before heading back. So I'll just, this is our factorial function. So we have tried it. We'll just add an exception. So except if we get an error, which will only be the case if n is not a correct integer for the function. So if n is, okay, if n is 0, this should work. Since range of 1.1 is empty, the factorial this will be 1. If it's negative, it won't work. If it's fractional, it won't work. So yeah, there are no edge cases here. We are just going to simply print let's just grab this whole line here, since we have to change just one thing. Instead of factorial, we'll just put is undefined. So this is our except statement if we get an error while trying this, and let's save it. Now that it is saved, we are going to run it. So we'll get a floating terminal back. We'll head to sorry for that, downloads, temp, and we are going to run main.py. Yeah, so it is asking us for an input. So if we put in 3, it should return the factorial of 3 is 6, which is correct, since 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. Then we are going to run it one more time and give it a number which does not have a legitimate factorial, for example pi 3.14159265. And okay, this was not supposed to happen. It was just supposed to let's see what the error is. Okay, so we are returning pi. So it tries this, it is unable to do this, it prints this, and then it returns nothing. And okay, this is the error. So after it returns nothing, here int takes inside nothing and returns an error. So that is where it's going wrong. So yeah, we don't need to do anything here. The int was unnecessary. Now having done this, we will try our floating terminal again. We'll head back to that directory, cd downloads, temp, and inside of this we will run main.py. So 3.14159265 is undefined. So we just created a short multi-file system inside of Neovim. This can be generalized to n number of files, so you can have as large of a project as you want to, and as long as your computer can handle it, it'll run smoothly inside of Neovim. So this was an example of how to handle a project inside of Neovim, a small one but a helpful one. And this is it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Tech Tactics signing off. Okay, so a quick PS. The floating terminal does not remember what you did last time, so if you want to create all the progress you've made previously on the terminal readily available, you can also use the terminal provided inside of Neovim itself. To open this, just create a new file. So we are going to create an empty buffer, and we are going to just hit terminal inside of command mode. So this will open a ZSH shell inside of Neovim itself, and you can I'll just head to downloads again, and we have just here, and we are going to run Python file main.py, and again, so it works. And now once you're done with it, you can just hit escape to go to normal mode and change the buffer. So yeah, once I change the buffer, we return to our previous file, and then you can again change the buffer to go back to the shell, which if I do, we will go back to the shell, and as you can see, all the progress we made was saved. So yeah, that's it, and this is Tech Tactics signing off.